Hi, I'm Jon Binnie, your spiritual psychic mentor here in Scotland. Welcome, 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 welcome. Happy 2026. And for all of you who have taken time off and celebrate the calendar new year, Christmas, whatever your beliefs are, whatever you celebrate, I hope you've had a fantastic time. And for those of everyone else, well, it's a new calendar year and we're back to work, many of us. And it's a beautiful time for us to reconnect with our hearts, with our joy, with our goals that we may have set out for this year, and start to reflect more on what's coming up for us through the remainder of the year. Okay, so in this video, I will be connecting with and channeling in my spirit guides, Mother Gaia, Sol, the Sun, Luna, the Moon, Galactic Federation, and many more beings from across the universe. And so it's my honor to come to you today with what's coming up in 2026 and what messages do we have, what practices can we do to help navigate and traverse this ever-changing world, help us raise our vibrations and step up on our spiritual awakening journeys, our ascension journeys up to higher vibrations, higher happiness and joy in our lives. Okay, so we're going to start with a safe space, and please do join me in creating a safe space. It's so powerful. It helps me safely channel in messages for you and helps you safely receive them as well. And not just in your mind, also in your heart, in your body. Okay. So begin by taking in a deep breath through the nose and breathe out what no longer serves our highest good, nice and loud. Breathe in through the nose, nice and deep. And breathe out any fear, shame, anxiety, or pain, nice and loud. And breathe in through the nose, nice and deep. And breathe out any remaining low vibration energy that no longer serves you, nice and loud. And continue to breathe deeply and calmly as it feels right for you. And focus your attention now on the very center of your heart. And there, with the light, the golden light of your divine spark of your soul at the center of your heart, extend a cord of light up through the top of your head, into the sky and into the stars, all the way up through the highest frequencies and dimensions of this universe until you reach the highest dimension of the source of love of this universe. And there, connecting your light cord into the highest dimension of source, feeling into that oneness, unity and unconditional love, remain connected into source and extend your light cord down to the stars and sky, back down to the top of your head and into your heart once more. And now, as you allow your heart to gently soften and open, extend a cord of light down from the center of your heart, down through the base of your spine and deep into the earth. Reach all the way down through the layers of the planet until you reach the very core of Mother Earth, and there connecting your light cord into Mother Gaia's crystalline heart. We send Mother Gaia so much love at this time. Allow her to send her love back. Remain connected into Gaia's heart and extend your light cord up through the layers of the planet, up through the root of your spine and into your heart once more. And now, together with the light of Source above, Mother Gaia below, and your own light, expand out your golden bubble of protective light to surround you, about 2 meters out to each side, above and below you, in front and behind, surrounding all aspects of you with this protected boundary. And set the intention for your golden bubble that only energies and entities with your permission, with your highest good love and compassion can see you, access you, or exist within the space or within you. All other energies and entities must leave immediately. Into your safe space, invite in your spirit guides, your higher self, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Source, Gaia, and set the intention to ask for their clearing, healing, protection, and assistance with the integration of today's session. And now, through space and time, I create a golden protective bubble around all of us who choose to engage with today's video across space and time whenever you choose to connect. And I set the intention for this session space only energies and entities with my permission and the highest good love and compassion of all can see us, access us, or exist within this session space or within us. All other energies and entities must leave immediately. I invite in my spirit guides, my higher self, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Source and Gaia, Sol and Luna, and including my spirit guides and also their respective members of the Galactic Federation. And we're here today to offer messages and practices that will help support those that watch and engage with this video, to help support them through their highest good, through their journeys, through their lives, through their awakening journeys, to their careers, throughout this year and beyond, and also any messages that will help with any predictions in the nearer term, anything that will help us being aware of at this time. And with that, we can get started. Thank you and well done. Well done for sticking around and watching the video and participating in that safe space setup. Please do encourage other practitioners that you see doing work like this. Ask them about their safety, their psychic safety, their safe space setups, and reflect on your own. There's a lot that I've been receiving over the last few weeks. I've had a fabulous break over the festive period, about 2 weeks off work, or what I consider work. And there's a greater awareness now of the dark matrix. And what I've seen very recently is that this has now, or is now at least, I don't know what it's been like in the past, but is now kind of fallen upon every living thing in the universe. It's a dark web, and this dark matrix that falls upon us. Imagine it as a dark net that sprawls across the entire world. That it's made up of all these little, like, thick, they're small but thick and icky and sticky, like dark connections. And it can be everything from supporting the programs of fear that are propagated against us. For example, fear of lack of abundance, fear of lack of sovereignty, lack of free will, lack of equality. What it really does is it both feeds off this and also kind of constantly gives us these like little pulses of dark negative energy to trigger us to feel those things. So whenever, for example, January is a great time for setting goals. And whenever we set goals for ourselves and say, this is going to be the year that I leave my corporate career, like I did in 2024, May 2024. And, we come up with these dream lives. And that was the theme of today's meditation and also my song today. When we envisage our dream lives, we get these kind of icky, sticky little dark matrix fears, like, pulsing into us saying, and I'll do the voice, right? Which is like, you're never going to be successful following your dream. You don't deserve your dream. And I won't go on and on about the long list of fears that we can be triggered into and to feel. And my personal message to you before I ask Mother Gaia and other beautiful souls for messages is that there is huge power in you. Think about this. Why would any being or beings go to such effort, right, to create this dark matrix of control, and within that, the 9-to-5 matrix, the programs of even things down to like gender roles and the different roles that we have in our, father, mother, son, child, like all these different roles that we have in our lives, and that it's this constraining feeling, like pulling us into this kind of restricted reality. Why would they go to such effort if we weren't actually formidable beings? And we are. You are formidable and unstoppable when you set your intention. And I see that when we set our intentions, this big, beautiful light from our heart shines up vertically and starts to lift us out of that web, the dark matrix that's upon us, and starts to pull us out of it. And so this is your opportunity in 2026 to follow your dream life. And if you're interested, I don't talk so much about it in these videos. It is an absolutely huge part of the joy I get from my work, and that is what I call heart-aligned business alchemy. So you can book me for one-to-one sessions or a package of sessions that will take you all the way from where you are right now, whether you're currently in a day job that you want to, and working for someone else that you want to leave, and define your own dream life, and then come up with an approach with a business, all within just a few sessions to help you really get started on your road, even help you get the first parts of your website built into, offering your services. And also for free, you can come along every 2 weeks to my channel and just look out for the heart-aligned business alchemy workshops. We did one yesterday with the wonderful Chloe Rose, and I was helping her channel in a new business offering in an hour. And, we drafted the whole thing pretty much end to end. I'm sure she'll do some more refinement. But just showing that one thing you can do right now is write down your dream life, just 4 or 5 sentences. And it's quite hard to do, right? But writing it down, saying it out loud to yourself is a huge thing. If you want to learn about mine, just go and go to jonbinnie.com, and there's the Learn More link just next to the picture of my face. And in there, you'll see my future vision. And it's a huge list of everything from how I'm here to help the universe, all the way down to my mission of helping support people on their awakening journeys, and to help transform this whole world from within. And more about the balance of my dream life, my business, and all these things. So if you're interested in any of those aspects, or if you have any business related questions and you'd like to put them into and see them in videos like this, check out the link in the comments and the description. You'll see there's a link there for posting new questions. And thank you for your new questions. You have been posting them, so thank you for those. Okay, that was a lot in a short space of time. Let me get some coffee before I speak to Gaia. I have a magical mute button down there so I can mute when I'm drinking coffee. Rather than, I won't do all the noises, but you can imagine all the weird and wonderful noises. Just imagine if you ever watch the Simpsons cartoons, with the whole family eating, they're all like stuffing food in their face. It's just the funniest thing to watch. I'm sure that's what I sound like. Okay, so I did not I did not realize the significance of today. So a few weeks ago, I did predictions for 8 years, and I'm using this as a bit of a template for a guiding light, right? It's one of the inputs to these predictions videos I'm doing. And what it has currently, and I'd love, with every session I do, I'd love to kind of, and this is a message to my guides and the beings that I'm channeling today, I don't want to cling to those predictions. I would much rather always go with the latest and greatest and most accurate and most resonant for those that are joining and engaging with these videos at this time. So happy to scrap anything that I've previously predicted, but it's been said and it's in my conscious memory. So I'm just touching on it again, which is Q1, so January, February, March this year is a theme of the spring of humanity. And I also heard of it. We had the term the new dawn, which I shared earlier. And it includes extraterrestrial contact. So a big thing that we're going through in the first 3 months, January, February, March, is, and this is what I hadn't spotted, is that today's the 7th of January. And on January the 17th, I'd predicted an inflection point. And this is where it's the top of an ascension wave rainbow. So imagining ascension waves are simply the waves of love energy flowing from the center of the universe into our hearts to help raise our vibrations, to upgrade our DNA, and so much more, supporting us on our ascensions. And so the 17th is an inflection point where we're at the top, the kind of peak. It's not long, that's 10 days, right? And then the 27th is where we get to lock into place. So it's kind of like, the way I describe it is like there's a bus or a ferry. Maybe let's use a bus. There's a bus going over this rainbow bridge. And you can choose within this time frame, it's like one of the many time frames you can choose to step into the fifth dimension. And so what really happens is you're choosing a timeline, you're choosing a vibration, and you're choosing it with your heart, with your emotion. So that's the 27th ascension locks into place, and this term, there's no turning back. And it's that phrase, no turning back, I just want to clarify, which is the fifth dimension's not going to just disappear, right? Equally, that's what the no turning back really means. It's like it will be locked in place, and we'll have a sufficient number of people who have chosen the fifth dimension to continue to be there. And one of you were asking about in the comments. Thank you for your comment question. You were just asking about the what happens for people that aren't aware of all of this detail. What if you don't even know what ascension is? Will you ascend? And the simple answer is you don't need to know any of this stuff, right? You're watching this video because likely you're a bit of a spiritual geek, a bit of a geek like me, and you want to learn about the detail, and you're fascinated. You want to, do your very best. So for those that aren't paying any attention and have no beliefs about spirituality or ascension or any of that stuff, any of the woo-woo stuff, you're still making a decision simply by your vibration. And that's the happiness and love and joy in your heart up towards the top of your heart. And that's a high vibration, a high frequency emotion, or low vibration in fear. So in any given moment, and imagine this, in every minute, in every day, the more minutes you spend in love, and the less minutes you spend in fear, the more likely you are choosing love to step into the fifth dimension. And that's it. It's as simple as that. And if you're more in fear, you're more likely to remain in the third dimension. And you can choose to both join the fifth dimension at any time, and you can also come back to the third dimension simply by lowering your vibration again. Okay. And then we also had Q2 about the 5D split beginning and accelerating, and we can come on to that close to the time. And then Q3 was more about purging and trials. So from what we carry forwards from last year is this continued expansion of truths. So into Q3 this year, starting to see those brought to justice. And it's a huge emotional time for humanity as these truths continue to be shared. And then Q4 is more about the path to 5D through 4D. So people this feels like modern science, starting to get an understanding, the kind of the masses of humanity starting to get an understanding of what are third and fourth and fifth dimensions, and how do you really get through it? How do you continue on your ascension journey? And I really love some of the latest explorations of science into different dimensions. Like they're already doing things they don't fully understand how they're accessing different dimensions, and then starting to kind of just grasp some of the little bits and pieces, what I would call as this quantum discoveries into the fourth dimension. And if you're a Stranger Things fan like me, and the Upside Down, there'll be more greater awareness of that into Q4. Okay, so let's go ahead and ask Mother Gaia for some channeled messages for our highest good at this time, and any predictions for us coming up. And Mother Gaia is rising up through my feet and legs, up into my body, and just she'll channel through me. Beautiful souls, children of earth, to all of you engaging with today's video from Jon, I love you. I'm here building the strong foundations for you and with you. These are the foundations that support the continued third, fourth, and fifth dimensions. I encourage you to look ahead across your calendar year, to look ahead across the year of the wood snake and into the year of the fire horse. I encourage you to look across the months ahead of you. One thing that you can guarantee is there will be continuous change and triggers and fearful programs pushed against you and that of humanity. Threats of war, violence, greed, fear of lack, inequality, separation, segregation. You're already familiar with these. Just know that these continue to amp up. I know this because I feel growing beneath the surface of what is reported in your media, the changes, the shift in energy. This is a year where everything fully changes on Earth. For the first time, we will begin to see more clearly, all of us, all living things across Earth, how powerful our beautiful hearts are, each of us individually. From the smallest mammal, the smallest insect, the smallest bird, or any living creature, across to the biggest beings, the blue whales and more. There is a journey of our hearts opening. Our hearts are all opening because of these ascension waves, and they are called in by our hearts. We are asking to be freed from this dark matrix. You, as humans, have been held down for centuries by these dark forces that oppose you. They have gone to great lengths to control you and to keep you down and to dim your light. Feel my fire. Feel my rage of love and my wrath. This is why you see me, Mother Gaia, continuing to disrupt what happens on the surface and beneath the surface of Earth. These disruptions, earthquakes, volcanoes, weather events, specific and often localized actions. This is all to shake up this dark matrix, to begin to burn away more of it. It just takes one human to change this world. And that human can be you if you choose it to be. You change this world by gently opening your heart up and allowing your heart to continue to shine your light more. Speak of the dream life that you choose. Speak of the dream world that you choose. Whenever you find yourself triggered and caught in conversations with yourself and with others about all of the problems and fears that happen across this world, at very least, end the sentences with some hope. None of us really know how this new world is going to be co-created between all of us. But do know that you are the fathers and mothers of this new world. You are the parents birthing this for your descendants. And there is no time better than the present. So, for example, when there is threat of war and you feel yourself triggered by this and you discuss it with yourself or discuss it with others, once you acknowledge that fear and that trigger and how it feels inside of you and speak of that, tell others how you feel. I feel scared of that war. I feel scared of that threat. Tell each other that you see that fear. You acknowledge it. And gently feeling this fear, meet it with love, compassion, forgiveness, gratitude. Apologize to that fear for being present within you. And offer an opportunity for lessons. So much of what's happening on Earth at this time is teaching you about all the things you don't want. There is an infinite list of the things that you do not want and the things that you are scared of, and a much smaller, yet much more beautiful and joyful and loving, shorter list of the things you do want. So end your conversations, for example, of worry of threat of war. What about world war becoming world peace? World peace 3. Simply world peace. What's it going to take? It's going to take you and I and every being on earth to extend more love and compassion to each other, to love your neighbor and your neighbor's neighbor, and to see through the eyes of love, not simply giving in to each other's lack and fear, instead seeking the common themes, common beliefs, the unity that exists between every living thing. Seek out what is similar to you and every living thing on this earth. At very least, you all live on this earth. And seek out the opportunity to share your ideas. Imagine all of that energy and money that goes into creating weapons and having wars with each other. Imagine if all that money was diverted to supporting the poor, the needy, the homeless, those in fear. Imagine a world that didn't need nuclear weapons. This world has survived, and civilizations have survived with much lesser weapons. We do not need to fight each other. You, as the human race, have a beautiful opportunity now to begin parenting this new world. And it all starts within your heart. So write down what you want and celebrate in every opportunity you have your ideas, your thoughts, and your feelings, and know that you have the true power to create them. And with this, I return you to Jon. Thank you. I'm just feeling you're draining out of my toes. Thank you so much, Mother Gaia. Wow. It's what really surprised me about those channeled messages are these feelings of how much Mother Gaia feels and understands and feels that she's part of the human race, that we're all part of the same family. And that's really humbling. I hope you enjoyed those messages, and I really, really resonate with those. Next, coffee before any more channeling. Okay, so let me ask a bit more. I'd love to know a bit about what's coming up with ET contact in particular. We heard of concepts of micro extraterrestrial contact. And that was a term describing how each of us have the opportunity now, right now, to build those relationships with our extraterrestrial families. And you've seen me sharing more of my sky watching videos, and it's what's going on in our skies is just phenomenal. And I know we don't always get clear skies depending on where we live, but know that it's not just above the clouds that this happens. We have a lot of magical experiences happening beneath our clouds too. So keep your eyes on the skies, keep your eyes on the ground, always keep an open heart and a nice, safe, strong boundary. And just like we did at the start of today's session, and set clear intention. If you want to start your journey with extraterrestrials, then I encourage you to start saying it out loud. And yeah, do watch my sky watching videos to get a feeling for that. And you can also come along to the live streams I do. There's one tomorrow, which is the 8th of January at 4:30 UK time, 11:30 Eastern time, 8:30 Pacific time. For 2 hours, you can place a request, and you can put in a request. For example, what can I do at an individual level, at a personal level, given my personal circumstances, to help connect with my extraterrestrial family? And that would be such fun to do as a theme for one of our upcoming live streams. Okay, so speaking of extraterrestrials, let me talk to some of my spirit guides who are extraterrestrials, and we'll get some answers for them about what's coming up in January, and also, any advice about helping connect with our extraterrestrial family. So just asking this question. So 3 of my guides have come forwards. My spirit guide, Maya, who's of an elemental of Earth and previously Andromeda. My spirit guide, Marita, who's a mantis guide. She's always doing this. And my Lyran guide, Emin Shal, a lion being from Lyra. So they're talking with one voice to me at the moment, and it's lovely. They're saying, we come in unity. We come in unity. There's a voice calling each of our hearts at this time, and it is the voice of unity. It is the remembrance of unity that we've had in previous lifetimes. Our soul knows of unity. Humanity does not yet understand unity. If you ever wonder why, when you were born into this life, why, especially when you were young, you often felt lonely and apart and separate, and you weren't of this world. And it's because the closest you have to a unity connection are the connections with your immediate family, and in particular your parents. But really the rest of the world has no unified connections between their hearts. And you've been so used to this. Unity connections are cords of light connecting each of us from one heart to the next. And it allows us to freely experience the giving and receiving of love, energy, any emotion, from high vibration to low vibration emotions. And this unity of our hearts also allows us to enhance the energy of the engine room of our whole body, our whole being, which is our heart, to enhance our superpowers and our connections with each other. For example, amplifying either superpowers of one individual connected in unity or many. And this is why, so my spirit guide Marita is saying, this is why there's such focus on us being divided. Those that oppose us do not want us to unite. They don't want our hearts to be connected together. They want us to be in fear. That's why they propagate war, for example, to make us scared of each other and to trigger those feelings of fear for other humans. And let me ask, is there any practices each of us can do to help support this? There are many. My Lyran guide, Emenchel, says it is a whole exploration, a whole field of experimentation and exploration for the infinite ways in which beings like us, like humans, can connect our hearts together in unity. So I'm just asking, okay, what about one for just now that would be really handy for us? Is there anything we can do either to suggest the steps or actually experience it ourselves just now? Is there anything we could safely do to experience this just now as a group? So we're just checking. Archangel Michael and my guide Emenchel, they're checking the integrity of the safe space I've created. And this is across space and time, not just in this present moment. Okay, so I've not heard of this before. They're saying yes, it's safe for this practice, and they're calling it a unity flare, which I love. So, and maybe a fuller name is the heart unity flare. And this is what they're showing me is a connection from, for instance, my heart to your heart, and it being like a little flaming ball of golden light energy connecting with a little cord at the end of it. So like it's on a piece of string coming from my heart to yours, and then for it to go around each of us, so around everyone. So if we would like to all imagine ourselves now in a group that we're all sat or stood in a circle. There's a lot of us, right? This video reached a lot of people over time, which is fantastic. So welcome all of those that have entered this space, that have met the criteria of these boundaries, and we only allow in those that have the highest good, love, and compassion of all in their hearts. And as we are in this circle just now, for you as an individual that's watching this, I'd like you to step forwards into the center of the circle. And now from my heart, as I ignite this fire energy, the dragon roar in my heart, I set the intention for this golden ball of light, of source love energy that I bring from my heart, channeled through from the highest dimension of source above. So I'm not draining any of my energy. And I'm bringing this forwards now, just outside of me. It's connected to my heart. And I'd like you to now receive this energy into your heart. I connect our hearts in unity. I connect our hearts in unity. I connect our hearts in unity. Okay. Wonderful. And if you could now step back and join the circle. So you've stepped from the center of the circle into the outside of the circle. And now, because you've all done this at the same time, because every single person stepped in that's watching, stepped into the middle and stepped out, you now have this flare, this unity flare connected into your heart. So really what's happened is I've connected a connection out to all your hearts individually. And now, if you'd like to, and this again is a choice for you, if you'd like to, you can now pass this light from the center of your heart over to the person on your right. So connect from your heart to their heart on the right. And so you're giving to the right. And because we're in a circle, you're now receiving unity connection from the left. And allow this connection now, giving to your right, receiving from the left, giving to your right, receiving from the left. Okay, good. Perfect. And we'll just gently allow that love energy to flow for a few moments. And helping focus our attention on our joy, the happiest moments in our lives, our hope and optimism for humanity, our abilities to unite our minds and our hearts, our bodies and our souls as individuals, and then also to unite as humanity once more, feeling the whole frequency range of all of us connected safely in this safe space at this moment. Wonderful. And I'd like you to remember that feeling in your heart, that lovely feeling. Right now, I feel it up towards the top of my heart, and it feels like a bit like a highway of loving energy flowing freely around the group. And I feel like if I tap into it, if I bring my conscious awareness to that stream of energy, I can feel the person that has the deepest fear, and I can feel the person that has the highest joy, and everything in between. And we can ask questions of this as well. We can ask ourselves as a small collective questions. For example, we could ask the question, what does our dream life feel like? That's a lovely rising. What does our new world that we're creating feel like? Oh, that's beautiful. What does our love for each other feel like? It feels good, right? It feels so beautiful. Wonderful. And now I'd encourage you all to just release the connections with each other, to let them go now. And I'm recalling back that unity flare, that flare of love energy back to my heart. And just allow each other to disconnect from each other. Now, I'd still like you to remember that feeling in your heart as you're now disconnected from unity from each other, which feels a bit strange. So it was so lovely to be connected. I didn't really want it to end. It's just that we're getting started with this, right? So it takes practice of stepping into it and coming out of it, and having clear boundaries. You know, we're starting to learn more about the consciousness and energy first aspects of this universe, and know that these unity connections that we can create with each other are far more real than anything in this this real world, real reality, or supposedly real reality. Okay, so thank you. And I just ask you now as a circle to just gently disband, so you can just move freely now. You don't need to be sat or stood within the circle anymore. Thank you. And I'm just going to ask Archangel Michael to do a quick scan around all of us, make sure everyone's disconnected freely from each other. There's no unintentional consequences of connections between each other. Okay. And remember, that was a present moment, right? So you can stop the video, rewind, or come back to it at some point and try that unity practice again. And, you know, if you ever want to do that with someone else, just, for example, if you want to try it with a friend or a group of friends, I would just encourage you to make sure you get consent from everyone. Always create a safe space around you, and really, really feel into the, like, focusing on the higher vibrations, the happiness and the joy is a really beautiful thing, because often we're not so used to those. Okay. So let me also ask if there's any other messages regarding the rest of January and going on to the rest of the year, including the 5D split, purging and trials, the continued themes of truth, anything about wars or natural events, the sun's activity, opening these questions up to Sol of the sun and Luna of the moon. Sol is saying, it's the continued chaos, like business as usual. That's really funny. Oh wow! So Sol is saying to look out for a new interstellar object, so new to our conscious awareness. This time, this object. So, for example, Triatlas, we kind of saw it coming, right? Sol says, you're not going to see this one coming. I was like, oh, that's exciting. Because Sol said it comes down from fifth, fourth, and into third dimension. So it actually travels into the fifth dimensional aspect of our solar system and drops down into third. Oh, that's cool. Okay, I can feel I'm going to be typing some notes for this. Sol, do you know when this is likely to happen? So it is an, many would call it an alien spacecraft. I don't really like that term, so I'd call it an extraterrestrial craft. Sol's just saying to me, 17th of October. Oh, it's so long. When's that? October, November, December. So that's in Q4, 17th, right? And another 17th. I'm just taking note, 1 second. Okay, I've written 17th of October, ET ship from 5D, and I'll just make a note that it was Sol. Okay. Interesting. I wonder if it travels through the sun. That would be interesting. Well, that would be a surprise. And isn't it interesting that it turns up on another 7, a date with a 7, and which is my angel life path number. And it's also during the period of which we start to understand more about the path from 5D to 4D. So isn't really and 3D. So it isn't interesting that something comes from 5D into this reality. Wow. Okay. Sol, if there's any changes to this, please let me know and I'll update my notes. I'm not trying to track every single thing that comes up, just the big things. Yeah, how exciting. I'll have to talk to Stephen Burns about that. Okay, more coffee. Okay, so onto your questions. Thank you for putting in your questions. You just click on a link in the definitely in the description of this video. And most of the time I remember to put it into pinned comments as well. So take a look there, click on the link. It's a really short form, just like a couple of things to enter. And that way I will pick from these questions and not forget about them. So let's check now for the next one. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. That's my random selector. Okay. So this one is from Rachel on the Earth Plane. I just love your name, Rachel. Thank you. So Rachel says, my 11-year-old daughter has a vivid dream once in a while. Sometimes they are scary, not night terrors, just disturbing. She had one the other day and couldn't sleep tonight thinking about it. And so I left her for a while with your meditation playlist playing to her next to her bed. Yay. Which she has heard me listen to. Wanted to tell you, you should know that you engender enough trust that I left your videos playing with my scared, sleeping child. Thanks. Would love more info on how to talk to kids about their dreams, especially when they are vivid or scary. Aw. Thank you. So first of all, thank you for sharing this, and thank you for trusting me and my energy and my guides, Rachel. And it's so important. And I love that you've called that out. You've said trust is hugely important to you, and that you trust me with helping you and your family. My intuition, because this isn't a session where I have I don't have consent to connect with your guides or to connect with your child in any way, but just my intuition of what you're describing is that these dreams that your daughter is experiencing are very real. And so there's you didn't use that word, but there's this lucid aspect to them. Your daughter also feels very gifted, and during this time, especially, around that age for male or female, any gender, that we can be targeted for. Well, it's a bit like the movie Monsters Inc. or movies Monsters Inc. Right, where they were targeted for feeding off of our fear, or loose as it's called. And it's also what she may be going through is these experiences of darker forces trying to intimidate her to shut down. It's like, you should shut down. It's too scary. We're much more powerful than you. And the reality is that the opposite is true, right? So if you look at my website, and I don't know which meditations you're using. On my website, I have two 14-day spirit guide meditation challenges, and they're like side by side on desktop or one beneath the other. So it's the second one, which is the 14-day spirit guide meditation challenge for negative entity and energy clearing. I developed those meditations because my son, at the time, he was a very similar age to your daughter, had been suffering night terrors. And by that, I mean waking up and running out of his room away from a demonic entity, that I eventually got a friend to give me a reading for him and got his consent. And then my friend said, you've got to, he's just like you, Jon. He needs to protect himself before he goes to sleep. And to answer your question, and so, well, I haven't finished the first one, which is those meditations that I created. It's specifically the one which is for dream time protection. I created that from the practice that I created with my son. So I'd sit with him side by side just before. So we'd sit down in the lotus position in his bedroom, literally just before we went into bed. And we'd sit down for 5 to 10 minutes and just go through that meditation, creating a safe space, setting clear intention, teaching him how to yield his light sword or his light weapon, if you like, and his shield and protection, and really empowering him. And I also very quickly, I mean, just within days, he was talking to his spirit guides. It's like, wow, that was so quick. And he could get simple messages, like simple words and things. And so one thing I'd encourage you, Rachel, on the earth plane, and for all of you still listening, is please know that the dreams are real. Our conscious, like modern science describes it as our consciousness. They theorize that our consciousness is non-local, right? And it's such a funny term. And really what that means is that our consciousness isn't fixed to our body. Our consciousness can go anywhere it wants to in space and time. So with that in mind, know that during dream time, your body's resting and your consciousness can go wherever it wants, right? And so those experiences that you have, that your child has, are real wherever your consciousness is going, often to different timelines or to the fourth dimension, and depends what intention you're setting, like where you're going. Sometimes we're doing dreamtime missions. There's an infinite things we can be doing in our sleep time, right? So that's the first thing for you to get your head and heart around, Rachel, is, do you feel that dreams are real? Because the other kind of counseling aspect of this is that when you're counseling your children, telling them that there are, to at very least, they don't need to believe that they're real or not, right? That's not as important as you as a parent treating them as real experiences. And that's what I encourage my kids to say. I just tell them, when they start telling me a Dreamtime story, I just say to them, please just describe it as if it's real, like that it happened during the day. And in that way, both of us will be constantly acknowledging the reality of the consequences of it. So, for example, when my son was being chased by demons in his dreams, right? If you just took out in his dreams of that sentence, you would say, my son was being chased by demons. So this is, and then suddenly you're like, oh my God, like I need to do something about that. I need to who are those guys? What are they doing that for? So it helps us treat it more seriously. And that's a good start. And then because you're treating it more real, okay, you might in the first reaction to that might be like, oh wow, this is even scarier than I thought, or even harder than I thought. But at least it stops us playing pretend that a dream isn't real and that its consequences aren't real. And if you're a practitioner like me, for example, who I do quite a lot of exorcisms for people, like I know, for example, I know that if I'm to wake up in the morning and I've had a dream about being chased by a demon, then it is serious business, right? It means that actually happened to me, and I need to treat it just as seriously. I need to change what I'm doing that day right now to, create space in my calendar, move client sessions around, give me time for my own clearing, healing, protection, recovery. Like I need to do a lot of work to heal myself from that attack. So those meditations, the 14-day Spirit Guide Meditation Challenge for negative entity protection and clearing. So those meditations also teach you how to protect yourself in dream time. And there's a few simple things that make them so powerful, right? The first is your free will and your execution of that free will, which is your universal right. It's a universal law, free will. This whole universe is based on free will. There's not one being telling us all what to do, right? And no other being can tell you what to do. So the second aspect of that is like setting a clear intention, and that includes a strong boundary. And so those boundaries, just like I created at the start of today's session, they're in those meditations. And then the next is like empowering your child to know how to react. Say like, if, one technique I do in dreams, and this is like a form of lucid dreaming, is, especially the scary ones, a practice you can do is during the day while you're awake, whenever you see your hands, say, I'm awake. I'm awake. I see my hands, I'm awake. Because in dream time, you've left your body, you don't have your hands anymore, right? You might have no hands, you'd be like this, oh, where are my hands? Or you might be, you might have, I don't have any good props, but you might have like totally different hands, like bear claws or something, or mantis hands. And you're like, oh, and so when you look at your hands and your kind of subconscious is getting ready to say those words, I'm awake, you realize I'm not awake. Because when I'm awake, the usual outcome is human hands, right? So they either don't exist or they're often different in dream time. And in that moment, you can catch yourself. So this is a technique you can say to your child. And you can also do it with them, right? Like, passing them in the house. And you say, I can see my hands. I'm awake. I'm awake. As you pass them by. And it's such a funny thing to do. And it seems so opposite. You always feel like lucid dreaming, you should be doing something in the dream time. It's like, no, it's actually during the waking time that's so powerful. So yeah, all those practices, I just encourage you to explore those meditations and really experience the practices that are taught within them and the protective practices. And if I didn't say it, after 8 years, night after night after night, of my son running out of bed screaming, we had to sleep with him in his room, or he'd sleep in our room, or he'd run out of his room into ours screaming for every night for 8 years. It stopped that first night that I sat down and meditated with him. And I was just blown away. I was like, this is the power of us, right? That we can literally stop some of the deepest, darkest demons. Because my son, if you hadn't guessed, yields a lot of similar capabilities I have. So he would be an obvious target. And that's no longer the case. And if anything ever crops up now with him, I just, he's 16 now, but anytime anything like that crops up, I just say to him, remember your bubble, remember your sword, remember your shield. And he's like, yes. And he says, and I'll ask Archangel Michael if I need help. And it's just so empowering. He, his childhood experiences of, there was a lot of terror, but he learned how to face that and to become a warrior, right? And to help battle it. And I'd just say finally that this isn't just a battle of darkness and light that we're all experiencing within us and outside of us. It's love energy that is really more powerful than any of that fear. And one of the great things that we learned, it was actually in the Monsters Inc. Is it the Monsters Inc. 2 movie? I can't remember. One of those where they learned that love and making people laugh, making kids laugh creates far more energy, right? And it's true, because low vibration fear is a very low frequency. It's like in the kind of 20s, 30s of hertz. And then joy and happiness and gratitude, they're like 500 hertz plus. So it's like an order of magnitude greater in energy. So, and demons hate being loved. Like that's the last thing they want. They want to scare you. I'm a demon, and they're like, I love you. You look so beautiful. Like they hate that, right? And it's actually the way you win all these battles is with strong boundaries and a bit of love in the right direction. And you'll be able to clear anything. Let me know, Rachel. Feel free to book me in for a one-to-one session. And if you want, you can come along with your daughter, for example. If you want some help, do let me know. Wonderful. Well, we're at time. I'm so tempted because there's loads of other great questions from you. I can see at a glance. Thank you for those. I'm really excited to answer those. So it just felt really important to continue on with that last one in a bit of detail. So thank you, Rachel, and to everyone. Yeah, please keep your questions coming. So with this, I'll bring our video and session to an end, thanking our guides, our higher selves, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Source and Gaia, Sol and Luna, the Galactic Federation, every soul that's participated in today's session, and asking each of us to step outside of the shared session space and remain in our individual protected bubbles for as long as we choose. I close the shared space down and return to Source, or never return here again. Please do drink plenty of water that feels just the right amount that feels right for you, and get as much rest that feels right for you. And yeah, please do visit my website, jonbinnie.com. It'll be appearing somewhere here, usually down here, I think. Explore my Getting Started with Jon, my free meditations, the free 5D Ascension classes. There'll be one on Tuesday next week. Also my Heart Aligned Business Alchemy sessions and services, and book me for a session. I have availability. I think I still have availability in March. Maybe 1 or 2 sessions left. So please do book those. And in April, I've got a lot of April off. So there's even less sessions available in April. So it's a good time to book. So thank you so much for your continued love and support. Please keep your questions coming. Keep calm, keep in love. And whatever you choose, may you have a beautiful day, month, quarter, and year. Sending so much love from Scotland. I love you. Bye.